Welcome to this quick overview of some of the mandatory requirements for those seeking accreditation at Proficient. The first requirement is that you should have between 5 to 8 pieces of evidence to comfortably satisfy the requirements. Some of these pieces of evidence could include a lesson observation, which of course must be accompanied by a lesson plan, as well as a reflection related to that lesson plan based on supervisor feedback. You could also include a unit of work, which is another strong piece of evidence that would satisfy a number of standards. You could also include a student report, an assessment task, plus a sample with teacher feedback. The professional learning plan is a very strong piece of evidence, and something like an excursion risk management form is another good piece of evidence. The next mandatory requirement is that your evidence and supervisor report must not be in excess of 35 pages. This is clearly documented on the front of the BOSTEST supervisor report form. You need to understand that the supervisor report itself is 8 pages long. So that leaves you with about 27 pages that you can dedicate to your annotated evidence. The next mandatory requirement is that each piece of evidence must have its own separate cover sheet. And the cover sheet you can see on the screen is the CEDP scaffold, which you must use. You can see clearly that it has the relevant headings, and it also has a place at the bottom for the teacher to sign and the supervisor to sign, and date as well. You can see that the teacher has not just described the standard descriptors and how they've been met, they're actually going into some depth, providing an example, and they are showing the impact on learning. CEDP does not like you to use too many standard descriptors for your single piece of evidence. They ask that you only allocate a maximum of 3 standard descriptors per piece of evidence. You can see in this case on the screen, this cover sheet is satisfying only 3 standard descriptors: 3.7.2, 5.4.2 and 5.5.2. And as I said, clear links must be made to the impact on student learning. This needs to be evident throughout the cover sheet and the annotations. The next mandatory requirement is that your annotated evidence must include a lesson observation. And this lesson observation must be accompanied by a lesson plan, and also must have within it a lesson reflection that is based on feedback from your supervisor. You can see on the screen there's a scaffold for a lesson observation. You can find this scaffold located on the Teacher Accreditation tab on the staff website. You can also find the cover sheets there as well. So just to confirm, your evidence must include a lesson observation, and there must be a lesson plan accompanying it with a lesson reflection based on feedback. Thank you very much for listening, and please tune in to the various other videos that will show you the key steps to become accredited at Proficient.